And next, we are going to be looking at last week in the Metaverse. So the first story we're looking at is Fujitsu and Mitsubishi look to create Japanese Metaverse economic zone. So the group will be guided by the aim of former Square Enix executive JP Games CEO Hajime Tabata to update Japan through the power of games. Companies that sign the agreement will integrate their technologies and services, including gamification and fintech, to build the technical infrastructure. It's currently called Riguku. The new social infrastructure will be used for informational dissemination, marketing, work style reform for domestic enterprises, the release said. Now, I thought this was really cool for several reasons. First and foremost, I'm a big Square Enix fan. They have made a ton of games that are very near and dear to me. Namely, you have Kingdom's Heart and several of the games I've played. But I think that we're starting to see this shift for major gaming organizations to look at the Web3 space, whether it's through Metaverse plays, through AR, VR, and creating NFTs. So you get the kind of graphics that a Square Enix is able to bring to different platforms and then start bringing that into the Metaverse world. That excites me. And I think that we're getting closer and closer to really high definition type of virtual reality. And I think that's going to be really critical for more and more people to start looking at the Metaverse as a real viable option of a place to go and have a lot of fun and to go and explore the virtual world. So I think this is big news, and I am excited to see what comes out of this. Next, we're going to look at Baby Doge, as Baby Doge COin dropped despite its Open Ocean listing. So OpenOcean revealed that it had listed Baby Doge COin and Baby Doge Swap liquidity for trading. The new development asset ecosystem has seen the asset record slight improvements on the charts as the meme coin struggles to consolidate on the bullish run. So what I think is interesting about this particular article, Baby Doge COin came out as a joke, almost to as a meme coin, and also as a response to like Sheeb and some of these others out there. And I believe they have some things in the works to create some NFT marketplaces out there. So as this continues to develop and you're starting to see more liquidity out there on the trading side, then provides you with more money that you can then go spend to inject into the marketplace that they are looking at launching. So again, I thought this was just a quick, interesting story, and we will move on to the next, which is looking at a whale that sold 1,010 NFTs in 48 hours in the largest NFT dump ever. With the Blur marketplace set for a second airdrop soon, you're starting to see more and more of the inflow and outflow of NFTs starting to occur. And so Nansen's Andrew Thurman theorized that this major NFT dump could be a play to reap extra Blur tokens rewards while also booking some profits. According to the data from Nansen, whale Jeffrey Huang, known as Maki Big Brother, dumped 1,010 tokens for 11,680 Ether, which is roughly $18.6 million. And in the span of about 48 hours, which is pretty wild. The major selling event included 90 Bored Ape Yacht Clubs, NFTs, 191 Mutant Apes, and 308 other deed NFTs. This is pretty substantial because you're starting to see this trend where people are starting to understand the system of these new NFT marketplaces as they launch with an airdrop for the amount of transactions and et cetera that they do. And this is a person who saw the opportunity and jumped on it. So by both selling these NFTs, getting this $18 million of liquidity, he's going to probably make a substantial amount of money from this blur airdrop. And so it's kind of a 2-for-1 where if he has been looking to get liquid and also trying to make additional money by doing that, he set up to get that done. And so airdrops typically reward action and communities who come and take action on platforms. But I think a lot of these platforms have to be careful because you can find these whales or these people who can come in and take advantage of the situation. And I think this is an example of this occurring. Our next story is looking at 3AC. As 3AC liquidators start selling the firm's NFT to realize the value amid the bankruptcy. So the sales are going to commence 28 days after February 22nd. And 3 House Capital, just as a reminder, are a large company that unfortunately went down after everything that happened with Terra Luna and Celsius and some other companies. They over-leveraged themselves and spiraled down on the downside. And as they're going through their current bankruptcy, they are starting to have to liquidate a lot of the current assets that they have on their books. And they have a couple of these NFTs, which include like Pepe the Frog, NFT Genesis, Fidenza 718, and some others. So again, this is unfortunate that they're having to liquidate a lot of these things, but also looks like you can get some pretty rare NFTs into your portfolio if you are looking for some potential good NFTs out there, if you are a whale that are about to come out to the market. Next, we're going to look at Sotheby's to auction Neil Stephenson's Snow Crash manuscript and digital collectibles. The auction house is offering the original 1991 manuscript of the sci-fi novel that coined the term Metaverse, alongside a series of physical and digital collectibles. So for those who don't know, Neil Stephenson wrote the book Snow Crash, where Metaverse was originally coined, as well as the word avatar. And this sale is going to feature a series of physical and digital collectibles that are linked to elements from the book, including a hand-forged sword created by New Zealand-based designer with a workshop and inspired by the one used by the book's protagonist. So we're going to continue to see, I think, a lot of the authors and OGs of these different words and phrases and people who are building out the world of Web3, creating NFTs and this is, I think, more of a collectible item that is having an NFT attached to it. And this trend is going to continue, because why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't someone be able to have some sort of auction or have a way to sell this digital good and be able to make the reoccurring revenue that can come from NFTs and be able to activate and do a lot of other really cool benefits to potential purchasers that they couldn't do before. So I think this is a really cool one. And I think there's going to be a lot of interest in this particular drop. So Neil Stephenson also revealed how he created the metaverse. And I think that is another really cool way of taking a deeper dive into how the term metaverse has evolved over time and where this is headed. And one of the ways that this kind of came to be, if you've ever seen films like The Matrix and some of these other things out there, a lot of it was inspired by the cyberpunk novel Snow Crash, which again Neil Stephenson wrote. So again, I think this is something to be looking out for and something to look deeper into. I've been recently looking more into Neil Stephenson, and I think it really does help set the stage of getting people to think creatively on where the metaverse can head. Our final article is going to be looking at a couple of wallets. So 13.6 thousand wallets migrated from OpenSea to Blur in a week. And the recent data from community-based open source data provider Dune Analytics showed that 13.6 thousand wallets canceled their orders from OpenSea Marketplace in the past week, and attribute that the development to actions related to migration of users from OpenSea to the marketplace Blur. And the Blur NFT trading platform rewarded airdrop participants on February 14th, which is Valentine's Day, and the exercise spread across 3 phases the first season, and targets reward users for bootstrapping the growth and liquidity of the new marketplace. So tying back into the article that we brought up earlier about the whale that had 1,010 NFTs that he sold and did it via Blur. Again, it's to capitalize on this airdrop that is going on. And again, more and more people are being incentivized to leave from OpenSea, go over to Blur, and to be able to make a little money by participating in that marketplace. So we're kind of seeing a marketplace war occur in real time. I'm interested to see how this plays out because Blur can't give away all of its money. But again, if you are getting volume on your platform, then Blur is also making money with those transactions. So I am curious to see how this battle plays out between Blur and OpenSea. This is going to take some probably time to develop, but it is one that is top of mind for me and one that you should be paying attention to as well. So that is going to wrap up this week's Aftershock. Again, appreciate you joining and seeing all the latest and greatest that is happening in the world of Web3. If you like what you heard today, please give us a like or give us a review online to let us know what you think. Please leave us some comments if you think there's some news that we aren't covering that you think we should, or if you have some suggestions on types of articles that you want to be hearing. So again, we appreciate your time. We appreciate you being here today. And as always, we hope you continue to stay cryptocurrent.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of Cryptocurrent. Cryptocurrent is a cryptocurrency and blockchain education platform that's bridging the gap between the curious newcomers who are just discovering the space and the thought leaders who are shaping its future. All opinions expressed by Richard Carthon, the Cryptocurrent team, and their guests on this show are exclusively their own opinions. This show and any other Cryptocurrent production is exclusively for informational purposes.